We've all been there. You are making progress on a goal, let's say a fitness goal, and then all of a sudden you get hit by some kind of sickness, right? Or some kind of other life disruption. Some kind of family crisis hits and you can't keep going. And when we get disrupted like this, it can be really discouraging. It's hard to maintain our progress. So in this video, we're going to talk about how do we actually maintain progress when we get hit by a disruption like sickness. I'm Leo Babauta of Zen Habits. This is something I've been working on for 20 years. I started my life changes, changing my habits, changing my fitness, changing my entire life back in 2005. And since then, I've learned so much about habits, habit change, and goals. And so I want to share with you one of the most important underlying things that I've learned about maintaining a habit and maintaining progress towards a goal when we have disruptions. Disruptions, first of all, are inevitable. And a lot of times when we get disrupted, we think, this sucks, right? It's like there's the goal and the progress that we want, and then over here there's a disruption, and it's like when we're over here, we're not over there, and so that sucks, right? It's like, I don't like this. But actually, we're looking at it in the wrong way. The progress includes the disruption. The progress that we're making, the habit change or the fitness progress that we're trying to do, it includes when we miss a day because of travel or work kind of stuff coming up, or a family crisis, or miss a few days for sickness, a week, even 2 weeks sometimes. That is not a separate thing. It is a part of the process. And so when it happens, we might just start to recognize, hey, this doesn't suck. This is just the part of the process that I'm in. It's not planned, but it is a part of the process. If we think of it as part of the process, then it's not such a big deal. We can take it in stride. And that's the most important thing, is that we take it in stride and keep going. If we think, this sucks, then we get discouraged and we stop. That's actually a much more impactful thing, is not the sickness, but actually that I stopped for 3 weeks after the fitness. Last year, I got disrupted in January because of some sickness, and then I didn't really come back for a little while. I did get back into it, soon after, but it wasn't to the degree that I was before, and I didn't ever get back to that until later in the year. And that was okay because I prioritized a learning goal, learning chess, and I was okay with that. But it's just noticing that when I got really sick it was for a couple of weeks, I just really had a hard time coming back. And the thing was not the coming back, it was that I really just ignored the goal for a little while. I basically did a little bit each day, but not much. And I'm okay with that, but just notice that the biggest thing was the long-term stopping, or the long-term dropping off. And so what I want to encourage you to do is, first of all, reframe disruptions. Whether you get sick, travel, chaos going on in your life, whatever is happening, you have to move, you have visitors coming over. These are some common disruptions. We're disrupted, or maybe I just forgot, or maybe I just got too busy and I put it off and I didn't do it that day. Not a big deal. That's a part of the process. It's not a separate thing. Second, the skill of coming back, re-entry, returning is more important than any other skill, probably, when it comes to making progress. Because again, if disruptions are a part of the process, what we want to do is get good at the next part. So let's say I'm making progress like this and then I'm disrupted. We just need to come back. This little swoop, that little swoop, if you can do that, little swoop, tiny motion, it actually is the biggest part. If you can train that and get good at it, then the rest of it's a lot easier. You want to train the weakest point, which is right there in that swoop. If you were training, let's say, a weight, lifting weights, right? And you're like, okay, I'm really strong except for right here at the bottom. Okay, if you had a coach, that coach would say, hey, the bottom is your weak point. Right here at the bottom when you have to push up. We're going to train that. by doing some reps down there at the bottom until you get super strong at that. And then this doesn't have to become a weakness, and we reintegrate it with the entire movement. And so what I encourage you to do is train that weak point, because it's the most important point. That little swoop of coming back. The dip is not a problem. It's the swoop that we need to do. And so we want to just swoop. And the swoop, let me talk about the swoop for a moment. First of all, we need to remind ourselves this is the most important part, this kind of getting back into it. And it might happen, if you miss one day, it's just the next day. Super easy in terms of timing. If you miss 3 days, just the next day. If you missed a week because you're sick, okay, start again the next day. But what we want to do is reduce volume and intensity of whatever you're doing. So if it's fitness, and let's say you're running, don't run as much. You might be like, oh, before I got sick, I was running at this level, this fast, this long. I was doing, 5-mile runs at this pace. Okay, great. So I should do that again when I get back, right? Just get back into my 5-mile run. No, do a 2-mile run. So that's the kind of level that you want to drop down to, and do it easy. You're not fully recovered yet. You've lost a little bit of fitness. Just get started. We want to go down in terms of volume and intensity. The same thing with any other fitness goal, but also for non-fitness stuff. We want to make it easier. If you're meditating for 20 minutes a day and then you got sick and you didn't meditate, come back with 2 minutes. Same thing. Super easy. Get back into it. Then you can slowly progress back up. And yeah, you're like, oh, I got to do this thing again. That is a part of it. We want to not do the, I got to do that again kind of attitude. We want to be like, okay, we're just getting back into it. What we want to do is to think, once I get back there, I'm going to keep progressing. But I just need to take my time getting back there. If I try and rush back there by starting up high or progressing with a really steep curve back into it, you're going to have some real difficulties. It's going to be really hard to return. You're making it harder on yourself than it needs to be. Make it easy to return, and make the return gradual, and then get back into it. And yes, there's going to be a bunch of swoops, a bunch of dips and swoops. That's what the journey looks like. This leads us to point number 3. Number 1 is we need to reframe it as part of it. Number 2, we want to get good at the swoop and do the swoop in a small, gradual way. And number 3, the way we want to look at this is not in this little tiny picture of what's going on today or this week. That is too small of a focus in terms of our kind of viewfinder, right? If we're just looking just at, today I missed. That sounds terrible, right? Because it's just like, if I'm only looking at today, it's like, I missed today. That sucks. But what we want is a longer viewfinder, right? We want to be like, oh, in the course of a year, how much does that missing a day matter? Not at all. Missing a day out of 365 is not even 0.5% percentage, right? And so it's, what is it? Let's say it's less than 0.25%. A little over 0.25%. That's a tiny percent. And we're going to miss multiple days, right? Maybe a few days a month. Who knows? Maybe more. It doesn't matter. The main thing is the trend line. Are we directionally going where we want to go? Directionally. Am I kind of over the course of weeks and months moving in the right direction? Yes. Okay, then what happened today matters not at all. It's a tiny blip. Even a week doesn't really matter. I went on a week trip with my wife and didn't do all of the fitness stuff, didn't do my work goals, came back to it, did the swoop, made it gradual. I'm now back to where I was. Great. It's not a big deal. The week doesn't matter in the course of a year. And in fact, we're not even looking at a year. We're looking at multiple years. This is a lifetime kind of thing that we're doing here. So if you look at it that way, 2 weeks doesn't matter. A month doesn't matter. Even last year when I missed multiple months, that doesn't even matter. Now that did have a bit of an impact, but I got back into it. I'm actually now fitter than I was at that point. It took me a few months to get into it, back to where I was, and that's okay. The duration of coming back is going to match the duration of the miss. So if I missed 1 day, 1 day coming back is all it's going to take. If I miss 3 days, now it's going to take me about 3 days to get back to it, give or take, right? If I miss a week, it's going to take me about a week to get back into it. Same thing for 2 weeks. If I miss 3 months, it's going to take me about 3 months to get back to where I was. That's okay. And so that would be point number 4. Duration of the comeback matches the duration of the miss. The last thing I want to say is what we want to do is to form the mental habit of encouragement. If we are encouraging ourselves all along the way, we find ourselves discouraged by the dip, it's okay to get discouraged, but we want to notice we're discouraged. It's like, I feel defeated. It feels pointless. Why even bother, right? It's kind of this kind of energy. What we want to do is boost ourselves back up. Come on, man, you got this. That's what I do for myself, is like, come on, you can do this. This is doable, right? And look at how far you progressed since you started. This is a little bit of a dip. And I tell myself, it's only a tiny blip on in the scheme of things. This matters not at all. And you just got to get back into it. And directionally, you're headed in the right direction. And so that's what I do to encourage myself. I encourage you to find what are the ways to encourage yourself. Okay, that's how to deal with disruptions from sickness. Keep making progress. Keep going. I'm Leo Babauta of Zen Habits. Please give this a thumbs up so others can help find it. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you have some questions or anything that you found useful here, and please subscribe. I would love that. Be a part of the Zen Habits community here on YouTube. Thanks, my friends.